All right. I've never told this story before to a captive audience. Here is the story about how I got my first agency job. So the background is I started freelancing about 9 years ago, 2015, almost 9 years ago, I guess. And I was doing a lot of Upwork gigs, but they were for a very low amount of money. I'm talking $11 an hour, $12 an hour, $15 an hour. A lot of YouTube SEO things, and I also had like this customer service job for the website Udemy, the course site. So I had been working for them for like 2 years and wasn't getting a lot of traction in what I wanted to actually be in, which was marketing. There's people telling me to start an agency. I didn't really want to do that, and I didn't have a ton of experience. So I decided, and I was broke at the time. So I decided to get an agency job. I figure I could learn a lot more, a lot faster, and I'd have consistent income for my wife and the little family that we wanted to start. So started looking online, started submitting resume after resume, Indeed, ZipRecruiter, LinkedIn, everywhere. Just started submitting my resumes. Only hearing back from those weird sales companies that are like MLM. Those are the only people that are really hitting me back. And I think I may have had one other marketing opportunity that would seem like a regular agency. So one day I go to Craigslist. And of course, if you haven't been on Craigslist, you might think it's just the bottom of the barrel opportunities. But I saw one that was structured pretty well. And it said they were looking for a punch you in the face marketer. And I thought that was pretty odd. But the description was like a regular marketer. Some skills I did not have, but I was going to throw my hat in the ring. So that's what I did. I submitted my resume, didn't hear back. I saw the same post on Indeed, submitted a resume there, didn't hear back. But when I was looking at the post, it told me the name of the company and they had a podcast. So I did what any good marketer would do and started to do research. Looked up their podcast online and they had hundreds of episodes and it had been running for a really long time. So I was thinking this is a reputable business. They're looking for somebody, I really want to get my hat in the ring. So here's what I decided to do. I decided to give them what they wanted, a punch you in the face marketer. I drove to Academy Sports and I bought boxing gloves, a mouthpiece, wrist tape, and what else did I buy? Boxing gloves, a mouthpiece, wrist tape, and a water bottle or something like that. I bought all those different things, and it was right down the street. I drove down the street to the offices, and I'm in the car just anxious. Not thinking, half of me is thinking this is a horrible idea, and the other half is thinking this is going to work. Bar none, it's going to work. And my dad is actually a boxer, so it's crazy. So I put on the wrist tape. The boxing gloves were actually kid boxing gloves. I couldn't put them on my hands. So I put the wrist tape on my hands, both hands. I put the boxing gloves over my shoulder, and I put the mouthpiece in. Oh, and I bought a jump rope. So I had the jump rope on this shoulder, boxing gloves on this shoulder, wrist tape on my hands, and the mouthpiece in my mouth. I go up to the office. I knock on the door. A person, which now I, of course, know is the owner, comes up to the door. He opens the door. I walk in and say, I heard you looking for, I had the mouthpiece in my mouth. So I said, I heard you looking for a punch you in the face marketer. Here I am. And I start just shadow boxing right in front of him. Like shadow my best moves. Jab, jab, right hook, like Gary Vaynerchuk said. So I start shadow boxing, and the owner, he just looks at me with this stone face and says, let me go get Chris. So he walks away. He goes to get Chris. He doesn't come back. And as he's leaving, I see this other guy come out, and he looks and he sees me and he just shakes his head and walks back. It was crazy. So Chris comes up. He thinks it's awesome. Oh, what's up? He asked for my name. We had a little short conversation. And fast forward, I think I went to 2 or 3 more interviews, like a group interview, but I ended up getting the gig. And it was definitely a turn in my marketing career at that point because I didn't have a ton of experience. That company had been in business for 20 years, since the 90s. So I got a ton of experience working with them. And it kind of was a launching pad. It wasn't kind of, it was a launching pad to the career I had now. So for those out there that are looking for opportunities, I didn't have a ton of experience. I had a little bit of experience. One of the things that also helped me was I read a lot of books. So when I got the interview from the guy who came around the corner and shook his head, he hated the idea of what I did. But I got an interview with him and he was the one that gave me the job. So for anybody looking to get an opportunity, it's just like marketing. You got to stick out and have a hunger for an opportunity like that. And once the door is open for you, then you have to show your stuff. So don't give up. You can do it.